It hasn't like we've been out fucking around on the barbecue circuit. I know that.
Yeah.
My scores show that. Welcome to an early butt crack of the morning episode of Cue the Mic. I'm Darren Worth.
And I'm the conspicuous Randy Twyford.
Conspicuous. And I'm Emma Derflinger, and this is episode 79.
79.
Mm-hmm.
Randy? 69 with 10 girls.
Oh, a 10-way. A 10-way is what you're saying. Not what's a hen way.
Good old fashioned OG.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. That'd be.
I would like this conversation to be anything else. So
Huh.
let's switch that up. It's
How
too
was your
early
week,
for
Rand-
that.
How was your week, Randall?
Pretty good. It's from the bed.
Shitty?
Yeah. Exactly. Real shitty. Had 3 events, had to cancel 3 food truck events, beautiful fall weather and stuff. Had the flu. So I guess the moral of that story. Yeah. And 2 days I never even got out of bed. And that's very rare for me. And I guess the moral of the story, hand washing is important. So.
Oh, I feel like as somebody in the food industry, you shouldn't say that. Like, that's obvious. You need to.
I'm just saying getting in and out of a truck at like Sam's Club, Walmart, gave me a new look onto hand sanitizers. I'm back to COVID mode.
Oh, God. Oh, Christ. Emma, remember during COVID when you were wearing a mask and you said you thought you were just going to wear this for the rest of your life because you didn't have to do makeup?
I did not say that. I don't do makeup anyway.
You said that.
I don't think that was me. I don't wear makeup anyway.
No, you said that at the Ornery Chicken. You said that.
Okay. Well, maybe I did. Doesn't check out, but I'll believe you. I don't wear makeup now. I'm not wearing any. It's too early for that.
I got it.
We're recording this at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because Emma's having tea.
Coffee. Come on, man.
And can you believe, guys, she wanted to record this thing at 7 a.m. And anybody that's known me for the last 20 years.
Who knows? Anybody ought to know that. You can't do that.
You know what happens at 7 a.m.? All my everybody knows at 7 a.m. Darren goes to breakfast. I don't care if the world is on fire.
I don't care.
I go to breakfast at 7 a.m. It is my 1 hour of away time from everything.
That's on me. I owned that. That's on me.
And I probably would have done it, except for yesterday. The day was so busy, I had to quick run in the morning to Eastern Iowa and pick up a piece of equipment. And the only time I had to do that was to leave at 5:30 in the morning to run over and go pick it up. So my breakfast was a Casey's breakfast sandwich.
So you were good right there.
Yeah. Well, no, I was not good. I was not good.
I can imagine.
I've been eating Come and Go's breakfast. Come and Go has a brisket breakfast burrito that.
The only reason I like Come and Go's breakfast is because they have an egg white and whatever that's very low in calorie. Egg white turkey sausage that's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It actually has a lot of flavor. Has a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah, Come and Go's breakfast is clutch.
Yeah, well, it's not clutch. But I was talking to a guy the other day about these breakfast, and we were talking about the Jam, coming to you live from
the Jam.
Not so live. It's my Jam Cafe, but anyway, we were talking about breakfast sandwiches, and we have a Casey's right next door to the Jam, and talking about just the amount of people going in and there and Come and Go, and they were talking about all these sandwiches, and they serve these really small sandwiches, and they serve them cheap, right? So come and go sandwiches are like $2.99 and $3.99.
Okay.
And so you feel impelled to, you can buy two of them and feel like you're getting this great value, right?
Right.
Right. So you buy two of them and it still costs you $7, but you feel like you got this great value when you could buy one great quality sandwich here for $6.99.
Right. Exactly.
But it's the mentality that I got two versus one.
Exactly.
Right.
I get two microwave sandwiches versus one made from scratch sandwich.
Yeah.
Better deal at the Jam, but just it's that whole mentality of mini sandwiches, sliders, that it was just interesting.
Well,
And
I
so
think
we
that's
got in this
everything.
conversation about what if we had a quick option that was a grab and go option, could we get people to come through the front door to quick grab those options? If we had 3 or 4 little menu options that were made fresh, would people not go to Casey's? Would they come in here? But, the problem is they're going over there to get their 15,000 different types of energy drinks, and they're going over there to get all kinds of different things that they need for the day, carton of smokes and whatever. The convenience, not just their breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, I would agree.
Right.
Agree.
Yeah.
So I guess last time we visited, how was the Jack Daniels?
Well, we were so busy with the Jam, Randy. We really didn't get a chance to go. We sent our cousins. Got to go to the Jack.
I wondered about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we sent our cousins. They went and played. That kind of, not worth a shit, but you didn't expect, your cousins, when the cousins cooked. I gave them a little advice over the phone, but kind of like that one time back in Quincy, back a long time ago.
Yeah, and you stayed home. And cooked.
When we had that. Yeah, remember that time? I think I still have that picture, Randy. I think I have that saved in my.
Did lawn work and sent your cousins down.
Remember when I cooked the best chicken of my life?
Second
and you
best.
Cooked that was the best chicken of my life. And you cooked what was absolutely the worst looking chicken I've ever seen in my life. The palest. Oh yeah, here, bonus coverage here, by the way. Randy, I always like my favorite. There's Randy at the American Royal, the gray water bandit.
Ooh.
If you're watching this on YouTube,
it's
Randy
just
letting the old gray water go at the American Royal right through the middle of my spot.
No difference in jumping at your dishwater out.
Well, I can't believe I'm not finding this picture. It was such nice looking chicken, Randy, that you turned in that day. I mean, it's a favorite.
It won the contest.
I know. He won chicken and won the contest with the absolute worst chicken. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, and I had been scoring in chicken like I was on a hot streak, right? Oh, here it is right here, Randy. Randy, look. There was Randy's chicken. Right? Anybody see that chicken?
How young you are.
If not,
it's blurry.
He had porn. Oh, it's blurry? Is that better?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just going to be blurry because it's like a screen-to-screen kind of thing.
Well, maybe I'll send them to you, Emma. Maybe we could post those.
Okay.
For people wanting to see that there is a chance no matter what you do.
Yeah, because there's his ribbon.
Yeah.
There's always a chance. And my cousins cooked that contest too. Yeah, so no, we went to the Jack. We had fun. Beautiful weather. Absolutely gorgeous from the time we got there till the time we left. When we got there, it was just a little breezy, but it was upper 70s, lower 80s. It got down into the 40s and 50s at night. Just absolutely amazing. The only thing that would have made it better if it would have been a week later and the foliage would have been turning a little bit more on the drive.
Right.
But absolutely amazing. Probably the best Jack we've ever been to from a weather standpoint.
No rain or anything.
No, nothing. Not a drop. The only mud that we had was and the organizers were a little pissed off. The Mexican food truck pulled in on Wednesday night and decided they were going to power wash their roof of their food truck.
Oh,
in the
Jesus.
parking lot right in front of vendor row at night and left just mud everywhere all down the vendor row. Oh, they were pissed off. I mean, they come in this morning going, "Did it rain here last night?" I'm like, "No, Mexican food truck. What's their truck last night?" "You shit me?" "No."
Oh,
It was
boy.
crazy.
Oops.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
So
That's
anyway, no, but we thought we had decent food. But the fact of the matter is, when you only cook like 8 times in a year,
right.
do you really know what good food is? And then you add in kind of, I spent a lot of time, you're focusing on trying to get a restaurant open. Your mind's not necessarily there. And then we had maybe a little surprise. It wasn't a surprise catering, but it was kind of a surprise catering. So Friday morning, we're sitting around, and we'll hop around a little bit. But Friday morning, I'm sitting around, and up comes the John Deere maintenance guys, and said, "Hey, you're cooking lunch for us tomorrow, right?" I'm like, yeah, I am." And the year before, I had cooked 4 pork butts for them for their maintenance lunch. And the guy had asked me to do it before, so I took another cooker down and cooked 4 pork butts. Well, evidently we had talked about it 2 months prior, and I forgot all about it. So anyway, so I said, "Hey, give me the pork butts. I'll get them done. What time you want them?" 11 o'clock. And I'm like, "This is great. All I have is a Jambo."
Right.
And I didn't have any friends around that had pellet cookers. And I'm like, okay, well, looks like I'm getting up in the morning and firing up the Jambo. And so I need to cook these pork butts in about 4 or 5 hours. I'm like, okay, no big deal. So they're huge pork butts. I'll just cut them in half. So I cut them in half, seasoned them up the night before, got the fire all ready to go, got up at 5 o'clock, lit the fire. Cooked off pork butts, got them done in I was cooking those babies at 350, 375 degrees, wrapped them, got them done. I tell you what, some of the best pork I've ever cooked.
I bet it was.
They showed up they come out of I got them out of the pit. I put them on at 6, I think. They come out about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Just amazing.
Huh.
And I just had them sitting on the table resting, and I was going to pull them, put them in a pan, put them in a Cambro. And they showed up a half hour early. They're like, "Hey, no hurry." I'm like, "Oh, no, they're just sitting back here. You come back and watch them pull." And I'm pulling these things, and they're just coming apart. And
just falling apart.
They're just sitting there drooling, and I'm handing them pieces of them, and they're just going crazy. And they're like, "Whoa, this is better than last year." And they had said, "Hey, you got that Blues hog sauce the day before?" And I said, "Well, I don't, but I'll find you some." Because Tim from Shake and Bake was down there the year before. Well, he had given them a gallon of Blues hog sauce, and they all loved it so much. And so I said, "I'll find you some." So I went to the organizers and I said, "Hey, did Blues Hog send anything for the international teams?" They're like, "Yeah, there's some over in the warehouse." So we come around. They bring me back like 4 pint jars. I'm like, "That's not enough." So I send people off. Brad from Getting Basted, he's going into town. I said, "Hey, go to Walmart and get me some more Blues Hogs." So he acquired me a bunch of Blues Hog pints, brought them back. So they had all the Blues Hog sauce, and everything was great. Off they go at 10:30. I'm done for the day, right? Getting ready to get focused on competition. I get everything, and I'm not doing the Miss Mary Bobo's thing because we had done that the night before for the champions dinner, which we can talk about. But getting kind of everything prepped up and ready to go. And at 1 o'clock, here comes the maintenance guy. And he goes, "Darren, you're not going to believe this." "What?" And he goes, "I had 40 guys, and they ate all that pork." I'm like, "Well, there was 22, 23 pounds of pork." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I got 9 night guys. Normally I have enough that I can just hold some back for the night guys." I'm like, "You didn't hold anything back?" "No. Normally it's just leftover, and I just kind of put it back." I put it all out on the buffet line. "Any chance you can cook me 2 more butts for tonight?"
Oh, my.
And I'm like, "Oh, dude, I got to get this pit ready for competition in the morning." I'm thinking what to do. I'm like, "Go get me 2 more pork butts. The pit's still hot." So I fired her back up, and they'd given us 2 bags of Western post oak wood, and I had been using that because I only brought enough wood for the contest. So they brought me this I was fired it back up and got it. By the time he got back, the pit was hot again. I cut him in half. Well, we got the parade at 4:00 and we're going to the hill at 4:30. And so I'm like, I really need to turbo cook these bitches. So I've got her cranked up to damn near 400 degrees cooking these butts. And oh yeah. So I get her and I get them done. And I mean, so I'm screwing. So all day Friday, I'm catering. I'm just focused on cooking these pork butts.
Sure.
I got my meat prepped. I mean, I never, Sherry's like, can you sit down for 5 minutes? I'm like, I don't have time. I got to get this done. She's like, you have not sat down since 5:00 this morning. I'm like, I know, but I got to get this done, you know? So I got it done. We went up on the hill, beautiful night, beautiful evening, whatever, came back, finally got to bed about, I don't know, 9:00. But lots going on, lots of distractions that way.
Oh, I bet.
Maybe probably not as focused as I needed to be cooking a world championship. But, you know, as all these teams were getting called, I always like to sit on the aisle at the Jack because I like to be the congratulations guy, especially to teams that have never been to the Jack.
Right.
I like to greet them. I'm the one that sits up there and cheers for everybody.
Sure.
As they come down the aisle and give them their hugs and high fives and whatever. And man, I tell you what, I think I had more fun doing that than I did when I won the Jack.
Really?
Right?
That's so sweet.
I think I had more fun doing it. And I gotta see such emotion from people coming down that had either never been there. There was so much excitement, people getting these calls. And
Sure.
I'm sitting there going, I don't give a shit if I get a call at all. I mean, I was just,
That's nice.
and when Albie Ransom from Scuffletown Smokers, the first call they got, his two little daughters come down and they're holding little crayon signs coming down, and I'm high-fiving them and coming down the thing. It was great. And when they won Grand Champion, man, they were like, whatever. And so they're coming down, and I hugged him. I said, dude, they're playing We Are the Champions, and it still gives me chills.
Right.
Because when they play We Are the Champions and you're walking down there, I'm like, dude, if you remember anything, just close your eyes and listen to the music. Just listen to the music as you walk down this aisle, because you're going to remember this forever. And I remember it. I won that Jack 10 years ago, and I remember it every single day. And every time you hear that song, you're going to remember it. Just remember the music, right, as you're going down this aisle. So, I mean, it was special. It was special because, you know, we may never go back. We may go back next year. I mean, we've been there 14 times. We were the old timers.
Has anybody else ever been down there 14 times?
You know, Bill Gillespie has taken interest in that because he's been there 12. And he told me, he goes, God damn it, when you won, he goes, son of a bitch, I thought I was going to catch up to you. So he's been there 12. Supposedly there's some international teams that have been there every year, but not kind of the same cook. They've been like generational teams.
Right.
So the same team has been there, but it's been like either their family or just the same team name has been there.
Right.
But it's not really been the same cook.
I see.
That's been there. So I think from what he could tell, we had been there the longest of anybody.
Congratulations.
From a consecutive thing. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I think as I get older, I've just in barbecue, and like Tuffy Stone told me, you know, if we never get another trophy, well, you know, we've won our fair share. I think I've taken that to heart, and, you know, it's just one of those things that it was just, I had more fun sitting there congratulating people and just enjoying the time. Now, I will tell you the one thing that pisses me off about major awards. And I saw it again at the Jack. And I was going to go to the Cooks meeting. I was going to stand up at the Cooks meeting and say this, but I was so busy catering I didn't have a chance to go to the Cooks meeting. Sherry had to go for me. But what I found is over the years, it seems like more and more, as soon as somebody doesn't win, they grab their lawn chair and they head to their trailer and they're all pissed. And not whether they're pissed off or whatever, but they're out of there, right?
Right.
Instead of going up and standing and clapping for that person, giving them their 5 or 10 minutes of fame, you know? And when we won the American Royal the first time in 2013, we looked over a big crowd. And when we won it again in 2016, the crowd was much slimmer. And in 2018, we were looking around and there was only about 5 people out there.
You're kidding.
And we had just won a world. Nope. Nope. And we had just won a world championship, and this whole thing of, I'm like, you know what? If somebody wins, I know you didn't win, but if somebody wins, go give them that 10 minutes. Because,
Exactly.
the fact of the matter is, someday you're going to win. And if you win, you're going to want that 10 minutes and make it
Exactly.
special for them. So it just bugs me. That's what bugs me about competition barbecue. When somebody wins, I don't care if you hate them. I don't care if it's a team you hate. Put your hands together and clap for them. Be
Exactly.
excited for them, right?
Because the table may turn.
The table may turn, right?
Good karma.
Good karma. But it was great. So then everything that happened after Friday afternoon,
Yeah.
not shit. We had RV
Huh.
problems, couldn't get the slide back in. Took two of us about 40 minutes with 3/4 inch sockets to manually bring it in. But other than that, it was great. We had fun. Nothing scored. Everything was. We took our ribs out on Saturday. Took it out. Of course, my sister and all her friends were out there, and they went through all the categories. Thought I cooked really some pretty kick-ass stuff, but the ribs were something special, I thought.
Right.
And they're like, holy shit, if you don't score in ribs, we're going to be amazed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get our rib scores back. Last on the table, 66th out of 87 or something like that.
Wow.
89, whatever. Just total dead ass last. But of course, first on the table was 36 or something like that. So just hated our ribs. Something
table.
about the ribs, they just, yeah. I never really blame it on bad tables, but they just didn't like our shit that day.
They
My
just didn't
sister
like
put
it.
out a tremendous dessert. She was 1 point away from 180, but hit 24th.
Right.
Joe Osbrink, he cooked dessert. He was cooking kind of the same type of dessert, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think of my sauce?" I'm like, "Not sweet enough, Joe. Not sweet enough." And I'm giving him kind of hints, and he's turning like milk along his dessert, and I'm like, "Hey, if I was you, I'd maybe take that caramel sauce and drizzle the inside of that glass with caramel sauce before you pour the milk in there. Keep it really cold, right? A little caramel milk,
Right.
That
Right.
That's
doesn't sound very good.
some bitch. Hey, well, you got a perfect score. Got
What
12th
the-
place. Got 12th place.
I guess.
Explain. Explain something how somebody can get a perfect 180 and still get 12th place. How do they tabulate
Well,
those?
I mean, it's just it's just tiebreakers. So I'm
How do
not
they
sure you never know if they were perfects. They probably know now, but old Chip, Chip doesn't know the difference between a 180 and a perfect 180. Chip's
Right.
the announcer down there. But anyway, they just fall down. So sometimes it comes down to coin tosses.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, if there's a tie, then they go back to they bring in the drop score, and then they go to taste, then they go to tenderness, then they go to appearance, and
Okay.
and if all those match up, if they're same across the board, then they go to a coin toss. But so
Okay.
if we have perfect score, and then we go to bring in the other one, and my taste score is higher, then I'm going to get the call versus you.
You're going to
If
get
our taste scores are the same, then they're going to go to our tenderness score. And if our tenderness score is the same, then they're going to go to appearance score. And if appearance scores, if I beat you, then I'm going to get the call. If not, if they're all the same, then they're going to go to a coin toss. So
Okay.
very rarely
Okay.
does it go to a coin toss. But
Oh,
at
really?
the Jack,
Crazy.
there's so many great desserts and every one of them's a damn cheesecake.
Right.
Cheesecake is what
It's
scores
all
at the Jack.
Yeah. It's all the rage.
So anyway, I really wanted my sister with the Cheesecake Factory. I really wanted her to get a call. That's really the only person I wanted to get a call all weekend long. And I wanted T-Rex to get a call.
Yeah.
Being his first time with Jack. He got a call, it just happened to be Joe for his dessert, but they got to go stand on stage. So that was good.
Good.
Well,
Yeah. So,
as long
Jack
as you had
was
fun.
good. Oh, we had fun.
Yeah, that's
And
We had
amazing.
lots
felt
of
like
fun.
felt like you got a little bit of a break, maybe, kind of, as much as you
Yeah,
could.
maybe. I mean, just Saturday when I was cooking, I got break.
Yeah.
That was the break.
Right.
Other than that, yeah, that was pretty much the break was Saturday.
Oh, good.
Speaking
Otherwise,
of break,
otherwise Wednesday was pricing menus, and Thursday was pricing menus, and Friday was
Podcast.
Friday was podcast and catering.
Speaking of taking a break, what's the latest on from behind you there from It's My Jam?
We're still 3 more days away, so
Okay.
I mean, who knows? We'll probably never get this damn thing open, but I mean, we're still.
Hold on. Pump the brakes right there. Did you just say
What?
3 more days instead of weeks? Do we have a date?
Well, I'm not sure we have an exact, but by God, we're trying.
Right.
3 more days.
We're trying. We're not sure
my
if we're
God.
going to make it, but you know
I'll
how
be
many
there.
damn details there is in an opening. People just don't understand.
I
People
believe it.
don't. Let me show you for people are opening restaurants. Okay, and I know people think this stuff is easy, and
I don't know if
and
people do.
well, they're like, and I keep telling myself, okay, every day when I get frustrated, I don't get frustrated every day, but I love this shit. But every day when I'm like, you know what? And my new saying is, because I used to say, it's just fucking barbecue. It's just a barbecue joint, right? I said
Yeah.
that for years. People are like, hey, this paint doesn't match. It's just a barbecue joint, right?
Right.
And now my new saying is, everybody's like, oh, this is my, it's just fucking eggs and bacon, right? It's just eggs and bacon.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
But when you look at just the detail of the build sheets of every single menu item and the process of every single menu item and how it goes on the plate and how much in portions and everything.
Did my mom make those?
She built the template. She
Okay.
didn't make them. She found the template.
Oh.
But I've had 2 people working on this build sheet. They worked probably 2 weeks straight here doing this, and then we have a master copy. And as we're going through and building, we're tweaking. Them, they're feeding it back out. So we have a master build sheet so that now, but I refuse to open. I've wanted this for every restaurant we ever did, and we just end up going, fuck it, let's just go. Right? And this time I'm like, nope, we are not starting until this is 100% complete.
And
right?
accurate.
So we have a build sheet. We got recipe sheets. I mean,
I respect that.
every single recipe sheet of how to make every single recipe, because 95% of the stuff here is made from scratch.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty impressive.
We have it all, and it's all designed around, if everybody quit tomorrow, I could still walk in and do every bit of this myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because that's
huge.
what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
And so people wonder, why is it taking so long?
Because you got to make sure
that whole documentation, we've decided, I'm going to spend the money up front and we're going to do this right.
Yeah. That's good. I think that's good, because when I worked there, we were still trying to get build sheets and stuff all figured out, but everything was still changing.
Yeah. Now I wish there was a system, and maybe that's what my new venture should be. No, sorry. Sherry might listen to that. But I wish we could take build sheets and recipes and tie them all together into inventory management and have a system that tied that all in together.
Yeah.
And brought costing and whatever. And I think, Randy, there probably is one out there, but
I'm sure there is.
That costs an arm and a leg.
That would do it, that tied it all in, because, I'm working off spreadsheets to, last night, hell, it's 10:30 last night and I'm still costing out menu. Of course, I'm celebrating a Cyclone victory, 7-0, boys. Hoo-hoo, as the Hawkeyes went down.
I thought it was 6-0.
Huh? We're 7-0 now there, honey.
Oh, I thought I'm off.
You lost. You lost, by the way. Did you catch that? You
No.
Lost.
It's okay. I was asleep.
Yeah, I wasn't.
To make sure that I could be awake for this recording.
Did anybody hear if the Illini won yesterday? I think they played Michigan.
No, I
They
don't
played
care
Michigan?
about them.
Randy, here. I'm very good at this.
I almost cared about their basketball team. I
I,
almost had a friend go there and play basketball, but
wait. I got late breaking. Man, I got the Shigan boys are on the road. They are on the road this morning. They're driving. They just got last night. They got reserve grand champion at
nice.
the Kingsford Invitational.
Okay.
The Illini beat Michigan 21-7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Man. How about the Hawks lose? I'm gonna look it up.
And our boys
God.
here's live
Oh,
from
God.
the Shiggin and Grinnin'. Educational content for your show. Freaking rumble strips should be on the outside of the white lines, not the inside. Still driving.
You know what? I agree. It's kind of weird that they're not. Or you should start getting smart cars like mine, and it detects the lanes, and then it corrects you. It's actually really annoying, but
I turned
if
mine
you
off.
veer too far, dink. Well, because mine's a lease, I kind of got a stern look. Like if you turn this off, we're gonna have problems. So I was like, okay, I'll just keep it on. You scare me, sir. Car salesman. Like,
You scare me, sir.
Okay, I'll do whatever you say. It's fine.
So anyway, we've had a busy week of rapid fire testing and
Yeah.
lots of good food coming out.
Well, you're
Lots
getting
of
close.
good food. We've had lots of
I'm excited.
a lot of simple things like breakfast skillets, so lots of controversy about skillets. That was the beginning of the week controversy,
What?
right?
Explain.
What could be controversial about that?
Okay, so a skillet. So Brian in the kitchen, who was one of the previous cooks here, okay,
Yeah.
and he's kind of running the kitchen for us. And I have him and Corey in the back, and they're my two main guys that are just knocking it out of the park. And I love these guys because first they're both very creative, but they know they know my mission, right? They know
Yeah.
my mission. Knock the food out, be consistent, very consistent, whatever. But when they come up with something and I say, nope, I don't like it. I don't like that process, whatever. They don't whine about it. They just drop it and they go, okay, next one. Boom. They just move on, right? There's no fighting about it. There's no whatever. They just, okay, not a problem. You don't like it?
Huh.
Guess what? You own this place? Boom, let's go. Okay, next one.
Right.
Don't even think twice about it. They don't even hesitate about it. They just go,
Huh.
right? If I say
Yeah.
we're not doing it, then they just understand we're not doing it, right? They just, boom, done. And I love it. So breakfast skillets. So in the past, and Brian knows the customer base more than anybody, right? And so he serves the eggs off to the side. So we start sending out these skillets, and the eggs were on the side. Well, the waitresses are out here training, and newer waitresses, some of our waitresses that are coming aboard, and they're going, hey, this is a skillet. Eggs have to be on top. He goes, I'm not putting them on top. He goes, if I put them on top, half of them are coming back. As soon as I break an egg on top of one, that's coming back. I'm going to have to remake it. And they're like, it's a skillet. He goes, these people don't understand that. And so there's controversy back and forth. So we're like, okay, well, if we're going to call a skillet, then on the plate we're serving at, then it didn't look big enough on the plate if we put the eggs on top. Because we could put skillet and design that, hey, the eggs are coming on top of this bitch, right? So we're like, okay, so let's increase the amount of hash browns on the skillet a little bit to fill the plate, which then we tried to do that, but then our press that we're pressing the hash browns with to make them crispy didn't cover it. So then it didn't get equal coverage on the crispiness, so it wasn't perfect. Then we had to go to a bigger press, which took up a lot more room on the space. So instead of being able to get 9 hash browns across the grill, we could only get 6.
Okay.
And so just a lot of, and people don't understand the details and the analness, if you will, that goes into this. Bad word, I know, Emma. Emma doesn't like anal word. But it goes into that, goes into the making of that. And so then I'm like, okay, did we go find a skillet to put it in? And Amanda's like, well, there's some cast iron skillet. We're not seasoning cast iron skillets. Let's find a melamine skillet. And finally, the other night, I'm like, nope. Guess what? You know what's easy? We no longer have skillets. We have loaded hash browns,
Okay.
right? We have loaded hash browns. Loaded hash
Yeah.
browns have eggs on the side. If you want your eggs on top, just flip them on top.
Okay.
Right?
Boom.
Easy peasy.
Why not?
Let's just change the name. Not a problem. It's no longer a skillet, which then makes us different because everybody has skillets. Nobody has loaded hash browns.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
They have loaded hash browns. They just don't call them loaded hash browns.
They just call them
Right.
skillets. Oh, but damn.
So
They just call them
because
skillets.
do you think you're gonna get a lot of questions from people being like, what, like,
What's a loaded
asking?
hash brown?
Well, no, but more of like, I don't know, because skillets are pretty. I mean, I feel like those are pretty common at a breakfast restaurant.
They
So,
are.
like, do you think you'll have a lot of questions? Like, why don't you guys have skillets?
We should have a smart ass answer. Would you like
Okay.
a loaded hash brown? Because we can put the egg on top if you want.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Or we spent so much money on the building we couldn't afford a skillet.
That would be
Or
good.
we could explain to them that half the dumbasses here will, we got all kinds of answers that we think through this, that like plate charges. What was really popular amongst the older crowd was they'd buy a thing and then they'd ask for another plate and they'd split the entree,
Really?
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so they would buy they'd buy 2 eggs and sausage toast and then ask for another plate and they'd split that entree. Did it all the time, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Well-
most people. That makes sense.
Well, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
if you're tying up 2
Right.
seats and now 2
Right.
people are eating
No.
a $3 breakfast, right?
Yeah. No, I get
So-
that part. But
So
like,
the waitresses are insistent. They're like, put in a plate charge, put in a plate charge. And I don't like the idea of a plate charge. But I said, well, if I'm putting a plate charge, then why don't we make the plate charge $5? Let's make the plate charge $5 and say, because extra plates don't pay the rent. Because they have an option. You can buy 1 egg, 1 sausage, 1 slice of toast for $5.99.
Uh-huh.
right.
Right? You can buy. We have cheap options, right?
Yeah.
So we have lighter side menu options that you don't have to split. But if you're trying to buy, and we have half skillets, so you can get a half a skillet with 1 egg and a half a slice of toast, a senior portion. What you can get that for whatever it's going to be. Now you could take the other skillet and split, but if you got a plate charge in there, we don't want you splitting that skillet because now you're taking up 2 seats, but you don't make any money
Right.
at it,
Right.
right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
So, and people, and I understand though that if you want an extra plate for your kid that's less than 2 years old,
Yeah.
that's fine. I bring a little small plate out to them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not bringing grandma a plate, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. And they said people will try because they said half the people would do that.
Huh.
Well, if you get half the people sharing 1 entree, think about what your revenue does.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah. Pretty major.
I mean, yeah. I didn't really think about how often people. I mean, I know a lot of people that do split entrees. I've done it, but I don't think of it from that
See,
perspective.
I wouldn't even think about doing that.
I wouldn't either.
Maybe because
Splitting an entree.
because I think about from the restaurant standpoint.
Yeah,
now,
I would-
Sherry and
from
I
a-
might each order an entree and split it,
Right.
but
Yeah, no.
we're not just going to order 1 entree for the 2
And
of
split
us.
that.
No,
Yeah.
there's been plenty of times where I've split an entree with somebody, but I didn't think about it that way, and now I feel bad. Guess I won't do it again. That's probably not true, but I'm gonna try not to do it again.
Well, so just, you think about that. You're filling a seat. You need to make revenue on a seat.
Yeah,
And so if you're taking a skillet for us, let's say the carny platter is going to be $9.99,
Mhm.
and that's a whole or a hash brown, diced ham, green peppers, onions, shredded cheddar, 2 eggs, and hash browns, $9.99. Right? It's pretty
Yeah, that's pretty
economical.
good.
Now I
Yeah.
could make that. I could make that $12.99. I can make it $12.99.
yeah,
I don't want to make it $12.99.
right.
I want to keep it $9.99, but I'm going to make it $9.99, but you can't split it, right? You can get half of it for $6.99,
Yeah.
right?
There you go.
Yeah.
So don't try and $9.99 me and split it in half yourself, because that's not paying the rent.
You're going to get dinged a $5 plate charge.
Or whatever that plate charge is. But I think the plate charge needs to be, and people are going to go, what?
Yeah,
Hey,
I think it needs to be. I mean, if
but-
you want it
but-
not
but- but
to
plate-
happen,
but-
it's got to be kind of high.
But plate charge, but plate charges split plates don't pay the rent. I mean,
Right.
to me, that's what you smart ass put on the menu,
Yeah.
right? And then you just have to have servers that live by it.
Yeah.
Because
Hold
if they
up.
give away the plate, then they'll go, hey, so-and-so give me a plate. Sorry, that's the rules. Because it for the server,
Mhm.
right? The server, it's their revenue too. So they come in
Exactly.
and they get, somebody does $8.99 for two people and they get a 20% tip,
Yeah.
right? That's $1.60 for two people
Right.
Yeah.
versus $6.99 times two. That's 13. You know, it's their tip that's involved too.
Yes.
So it's
gonna
better
affect-
for the server too to abide by the rules.
Right.
As long as we're given, and we're not telling everybody you have to buy this big plate, but we've given them the options, the cheap options. We have the lighter side where you can get a pick 3 of any item. So you can get one egg, a slice of bacon, you can get one sausage bag, a half slice of ham, half slice toast, a small pancake, half order of hash browns. We have that option for $5.99. So you can buy the small option. You're just not going to split the big option.
Right.
That makes sense.
But I think it can't be a $2 plate charge. I think it has to be a $5
Make it
plate
worth their
charge.
money.
Yeah.
That nobody's
Yeah.
ever going to ask for, unless you're under
Exactly.
2 years old. If you're under 2 years old and you want a little plate to give your kid some scrambled eggs off your plate, I understand that.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
expect you to pay $5.99 to feed a little eggs to a little junior. But if the kid's 3 years old, he's eating his own eggs.
Whoa. 3?
Hell yeah. Shit. Henley's not even 3, and she'll eat 2 waffles and 4 pancakes. And yeah,
I guess. That's crazy. That feels like so much food for a small child.
But-
well, maybe that's...
but if you can come into a place and get a full breakfast for a small child for $5.99,
yeah, I mean, I would do it.
probably a
Yeah.
pretty good deal.
Yeah. Pretty
Right.
good deal.
Yeah, I agree with
So
you.
now I went through and I priced the menu last night. Now I've got to get a menu in the system and go, okay, now we got to spend 2 days on, okay, how are they going to fuck me? Right?
Ugh.
That's the, okay, how are they going to get their way? Because we have a lot of build your own options, build your own sandwiches, build your own.
Right.
So here's my skillet. Now I try and build your own and get it cheaper. Right?
Okay.
Or how do you,
Mhm.
how do you,
Yeah.
how are they
Yeah,
going to
that's
work
true.
the
Right.
system?
It's,
You gotta-
yeah.
Got to figure out how they're going to work the system. I don't want it to be any expensive, but I don't want it to work the system because, like, everywhere
Well-
you go, what?
Do you think that people will do that, or because I want to think
Yeah.
about it.
Oh,
well,
hell
think about
yes.
it from a non-read.
If
No,
you
listen to me.
give them an opportunity, they will do it.
Well,
Yeah, I agree.
think about it
with
from the
Darren.
Honorary Chicken perspective. We give them the option to build their own chicken sandwich,
And they make it a
and-
lot more expensive.
right? But 9 out of 10 times, what they do is that they just
Make a $15
just-
sandwich.
or they'll go like to one of our specialty sandwiches and deconstruct it instead, or like reconstruct it.
And make it a lot more expensive.
Right. Well, that's what I'm
Different, I would say here, different demographic at the
Yeah.
Ornery Chicken. Right?
That's fair.
Younger kids, your age, ordering the Ornery Chicken, boom, boom. Money is no object. Even though they say they're broke, money is no object when it comes
Right.
to ordering DoorDash, that type stuff.
ookie.
I'm not lying.
I'm not disagreeing.
So, and what I'm trying to do with these build your own options is, most places you go to and you say, hey, I want an omelet. Hey, I want an extra meat. It's another $2. Well,
Right.
you're only getting another ounce and a half of meat,
Right.
right? So I'm not going to charge you $2 or $3, right?
Mhm.
That's another $1, right? So I'm trying to keep the build your own options on the cheap side.
Right.
Yeah, but still make it.
But
Profitable.
Yeah.
but like you
Yeah.
want another vegetable on there, it's okay. 75 cents. You want another slice of cheese? You want another type of cheese on there? You want 10 cheeses on there? Fine. I'm only going to charge you 75 cents. I only got 50 cents in the cheese. I'll just charge you 75 cents. You already paid for the omelet. I already paid
Right.
for my rent in the omelet.
Right.
Right.
Right? So all I got to do is
Yeah.
cover the cost of cheese plus a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I got to, like my add-on menu, I'm not putting side items
Okay.
on there. So you can't just come in and a la carte something. You can't come in and say, hey, I just want 2 eggs and a slice of bacon.
Okay.
Now you can, because I have a pick 3 item. You can pick any 3 items for $5.99. So you can get 2 eggs and a slice of bacon.
Okay.
$5.99.
I got you.
But I have this side item that says, okay, let's say I order an Eggs Benedict, but I want a small side of biscuits and gravy. Okay. So now you want to add on a side of hash browns to that? That's fine. $2. You want to add in half a corned beef hash? That's fine. That's only $4. Hey, you want some sausage patties? 2 sausage patties? That's fine. It's $3. Everybody else would charge you $5. But you can't, I'm not even putting those prices on the menu. So people won't look and go, wow, that's really cheap. I just want these 2. You can't get them there because those are add-ons. You got to buy a meal to get to it. And by the way, you're not adding this on to the junior and senior one either.
Huh. I'm going to have to see the menu, I think, to
Yeah. It's going to be a
fully
little
grasp
difficult, but it's
what's happening. I mean, it makes sense, like why you would do that. I think just I'd have to like see it to fully understand what you're saying.
what we're trying to do in the kitchen is you
Yeah.
got 3 sandwiches, you got 3 skillets, 3 Benedicts, 3 omelets. That guess what? You order this is what you get. There's no
Yeah.
sub this, there's no whatever. This is what you get. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want it different, build your own. We have a build your own omelet, build your own Benedict. So if you want a Benedict that has, instead of an English muffin, if you want it on a biscuit with, if you want, or let's say you want your Benedict on wheat toast, fine. I don't care. I'll put it on wheat toast. And let's say you want
Right.
scrambled eggs versus poached, fine. Now let's talk about poached eggs. Let's talk about poached eggs.
I went through a poached eggs phase.
I think the Benedict is going to be our fastest thing to make in the kitchen. And people
Really?
would look at me like, you are nuts. So
Yeah.
we have found a way. And I always like to be educational, right? And this will be the education trick. This is giving away my cards. So we have been testing Eggs Benedict in an Alto sham warmer. So we have an Eggs Benedict pan that on an induction burner. So we can cook 6 poached eggs in 3.5 to 4 minutes. Okay, you crack an egg in this little cup. It steams it 4 minutes. Perfect poached egg every single time, right?
Mm-hmm.
We take that poached egg and we drop it in we fully submerge it in water in an Alto sham at 140 degrees. We can hold that egg for 4 hours perfectly to the perfect yolk. 4
Really?
hours.
Holy
Four
shit.
hours. Now, we had tried to partially submerge it. It will not hold that way. If we fill it and fill the water to the pan and then we take it. So making an Eggs Benedict on the weekend for us is truly going to be grill the English muffin, grab the poached egg, drain it off with a strainer, put it on top, dip the hollandaise, out the door. Well, put your whatever meat on and out the
Yeah,
door.
I was gonna say. There's
Super simple.
Huh.
But
I love
that-
Eggs Benedict.
but then they screwed up the other day.
Oh no.
They were cooking poached eggs and they forgot about them. And they let them go and they went 10 minutes. And they got to be the same consistency as a hard-boiled egg.
Oh.
So they took it out and said, hey, we got hard-boiled eggs for our chef salad. So we took the hard-boiled egg and we cut it up and put it on our chef salad.
Boom.
There
And
you
it
go.
was perfect. And then
Boom.
we went and made egg
So
salad.
they really didn't mess up.
They didn't mess up. They just designed a new way of hard boiling eggs without having to crack and peel and whatever. We just cook. And so now we said, wow, let's think about this. Anytime we fuck up an egg, if we crack an egg into a bowl and we break the yolk, that's okay. Just throw it in the poacher.
Yeah.
Just throw it in the poacher. Right?
Huh.
And now, because we have eggs in our potato salad, we have eggs, and we're going to do an egg salad at some point. We got all these different things for eggs that if we fuck up an egg, then we should have no egg loss.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is pretty
guys
neat.
found that. I was like, hey, that's the win of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Darren. That's
pretty
Darren type
impressive.
stuff there. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're moving right along, and
Yeah.
We're moving right along. We're down to the little shit. I mean, I was placing an order at 4:30 this morning. I placed my first truck order this week to be delivered Monday, and I've added to it 3 times since. I added to it at 10:30 last night. I added to it at 4:30 this morning. I'm like, fuck, sugar packet, pink packet, shit, creamer, shit. I keep looking around going, shit.
what is
You
that
know,
one
just
thing I
different
need,
things.
that I forgot? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got today, we'll get stuff. I got a big I got a little grocery store list, a Sam's Club list, get that all in place. And then tomorrow is full bore prep, get the truck put away and full bore prep. And we're still moving kitchen equipment around. We moved a freezer. Now I got to get the electrician out to move an outlet and just trying to get everything settled in. And hopefully we'll be able to cook and somebody remembers how to cook an omelet around here. And
Yeah.
I'm constantly reteaching and.
Well, you may be open before November. That's pretty impressive.
Not very impressive. Should have been open a long time ago, but
Well,
but
the fact that you're this close to opening is exciting.
yeah, it's exciting. My wife is very excited to get this thing. She's starting to, I don't know, a little bit of freak out moments and going. Yesterday morning was the old, I don't know how the hell you're going to get this thing open before Wednesday. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I think we're 99% there. There's no way. I'm like, okay, write me a list of everything that needs to get done. And tell me which ones are critical to opening and which ones are just nice to haves. That's all that matters to me.
What do you think,
Right.
Darren? What do you think? You're in the home stretch now. You're at 99%. From conception to completely done, what has been the most challenging of this whole project?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question, Randy.
By far, I've learned at first it was being the general contractor. If I would have known what I would know now, I just would have hired a general contractor to come in and bid out the whole thing. And we would have looked at this building in depthly before we would have started anything instead of just piecemealing it as it went. We would have just did a detailed analysis of the structure of the building and looked at it all. Right.
Right.
Dogs must be up.
Yeah, Marla and the dogs are up.
So anyway, we would have done a detail analysis. I probably would have went to the construction company and had them did a detailed bid. That would have sped up our process and probably made it cheaper, right? But hindsight's 2020. I do the good thing about that is I know everything about this building right now. I know every single inch of this building myself. I know where every switch. I know every single thing about this building, which is
water
great.
line, whatever.
I know where everything is. I know where everything is in this building because I've seen every bit of it every day for the last 6 to 9 months. The other thing that's been is just the timing of it's been so horrible because we don't have a corporate startup team. So when I talk about these build sheets getting done, these build sheets have got done by people that have full-time jobs already.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're spending a few hours a day here and then they're going and running a 400-seat restaurant.
Yeah.
Right. So I've been sneaking, borrowing, stealing because we don't have extra staff. You don't have extra staff. The only extra staff we've had has really been Brian in the kitchen. He's the guy that's been on the payroll for the last month in the kitchen. kind of with, but you really can't. You can design all the recipes you want, and you can cook all you want, but until you get your kitchen equipment in place, cooking on your equipment, it does not a damn bit of good. You can go cook an omelet on a stove somewhere, it doesn't matter. You can cook, and then you got the behind the scenes. We got Amanda who is, she's been doing the school lunch thing, which has probably hurt me more than anything, the timing of that, because she's my cinnamon roll. We're still trying to figure out jam. I'm still got jam we got to make.
Right.
And so but jam takes a long time to make. Sausage, I'm still making sausage. So critical items, I can make sausage, and I'm going to work like hell, and I'm going to be making sausage every night. I guarantee at 2:30 or 3 o'clock at night, or 2:30 or 3 o'clock, I'm going to be making fresh sausage every day to keep up.
Sure.
But I do have the seasoning blend, and I should have the test. And within a couple, 2 or 3 weeks, then we're going to have the sausage made for us. And that's stuff that should have been done by now, but we're so busy working on everything else that didn't get done by now.
Plus running another 400-seat restaurant.
Yeah, and 2 ghost kitchens.
And a ghost kitchen, and just everything else that goes along. So it hasn't like we've been out fucking around on the barbecue circuit. I know that.
Yeah.
My scores show that.
Well.
Yeah, I was just kind of curious what you felt like was the major challenges for the whole project.
Yeah, just startup team, the resources that it takes, to get that done. I mean, if you would have had 3 or 4 people devoted for 2 months straight and did nothing but that, would have been a breeze. Probably would have taken 3 or 4 weeks to get open from there. Just devoted 100% of the time. But, you get an hour here, hour, like POS system. You get Alex, finally on Friday, we were able to sit him here almost all day long on Friday and knock out 99% of what we needed from a POS system. But normally it's 2 hours here, hour here, and all of a sudden we plan for this day, and then somebody calls in sick of the chickens. Oh, here he goes to the chicken. Or he was here on Friday, and all of a sudden, got a delivery load. Where's Alex? I go run an errand, come back. Where's Alex? Oh, we got a truckload of sauce. He had to go unload it. Oh, fuck. Why didn't you call me? I would have went and unloaded it. It's just that.
Yeah.
Just that moving and shaking. Right.
Yeah. A lot of moving pieces.
But it's just adapt and overcome. And, we're still growing, and our business, was up 7% last week as a system, which is great. And it's going to go. And that's why we have to get this thing open, because that trajectory has already started its holiday season peak. As it turns colder, it's, people have put on the feed bag already.
Yeah.
And once they put on the feed bag and start eating, they are eating. And so we've got to get that done. And this thing's going to blow up. I mean, this thing is going to blow up.
Honestly, the timing of it's pretty I almost think it's better because it's going to be new, right?
No,
you don't think so?
No, this sucks.
Because it's going to be so busy?
I really wanted this in the middle of August during the fair when people were not, couldn't afford to eat out. That way you get a slow, like I told the waitresses the other day, I said, okay, we're putting a schedule together. And when we had a server meeting a couple weeks ago, I said, here's what we're going to shoot for. We were shooting for last week, and I knew we wouldn't make it, but I had to light a fire under a lot of people's asses to get it going, right? Yeah. So I told them last week, even though I knew we weren't going to make it. But I said, here's the date. We got to get going. But do not tell anybody, right?
Yeah.
So instantly, we had all these people going, I thought you were opening on Wednesday. So the servers, I'm like, hey, there's only like 10 people that knew that we were trying to open last Wednesday, and that was you 10 people. I told you not to tell anybody. Well, we kind of told a few people, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, we just told the regulars and whatever. I'm like, yeah, told you not to tell. So now you're on the schedule. I'm not sure we're opening on Wednesday. We're not sure we are. So you best keep your mouth shut.
Exactly.
Right? Because if I open that door at 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning and there's a line out the door, I may not open the door.
That's fair. Yeah, because you don't want to.
I'm not going to overload the system and get off on a bad start, right?
Yeah, I think that's
We're
a
not
smart
doing
idea.
the whole friends and family thing or whatever. We're just not doing it. We're just going to
open the door and see who notices.
We're just going to open the door. And, I told the people, hey, when the white truck out front disappears and the open sign comes on, and they're all worried about, hey, when are you going to put hours on the door? I'm like, I'm not worried about putting hours on the door. not worried about taking the coming
And
soonish
also-
sign down, right?
Yeah. Also, I
I'm not
wouldn't
trying-
put hours on the door because if you change those are a B word to fix. So just don't.
Sign company's right across the street.
Oh, that's fair. I guess.
So anyway, well, we successfully at 6:38 a.m.
We didn't even
we've
get to Randy's.
successfully. Oh, no, we got to get to
Randy's.
Randy's.
Randy's weak ass acronym segment, also known as RWAAS by one of our commenters.
Well,
Randy?
I have one. I have
gotta
one
step
for us
it up.
this week. I have one for us this week, and it is HBIC.
Head bitch in charge?
That's exactly right. Head bitch in charge.
Yeah, that's a common one.
Randy.
I thought
didn't know it
you'd
was
throw us
common.
something original.
No,
The lawless
Yeah.
girl, Randy.
Lawless
the lawless
girls,
girls
Red-
are going to have to
Ooh.
do a little better job.
that's
Yeah,
exactly
that's
right.
very
Megan,
common.
she thought that was a pretty unique one, and Megan did and thought that
No,
would be a
that's-
good name for her as an HBIC.
That's a very common one with the younger generation.
Well,
But
we're older
I
generation.
do like it.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I'll come up with a better one
kind
next
of
week.
disappointing. Come
Okay.
up with one. We want one that can
It's
put your
original.
name next to it.
RWAAS continues.
Do what?
Randy, if you keep this up,
keep
RWAAS
working.
continues.
You
Okay.
keep
You
working.
keep this
Maybe
up,
we'll,
we're going to have to cut your segment.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we cut
That's
my
why we're
segment.
putting it at the end. That's why we're putting it at the end so that we don't lose listeners.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll improve.
Okay.
Well,
Until next
if-
time.
Yeah, if you guys haven't already, follow us on social media at Cue the Mic Pod. Find us on YouTube at Cue the Mic Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. Randy, hit us with it.
Boom. Out of here. Done. Finished. Adios.
Boom. Because it's my jam.
All
There you
right,
go.
we'll see you guys next week.
See y'all later.